Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. As some of you know, recently me and Charlie have been checking for a new house here in Taiwan. Also we are starting to check a little bit in Sweden. In my last few videos, I complained quite much that the price is very high here, especially in Taipei. So in today's video, I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about some of the culture differences that I have noticed between me and Charlie when we are checking for a new house in Taiwan. The single biggest cultural difference I would say when we look for a new apartment, and this is not just between me and Charlie, I would say that this is between Westerners and Asian in general. Westerners usually don't mind a lot to live next to a graveyard or to live close to a graveyard. When I live in Sweden, actually I live neighbor with a graveyard, and for me that means that I have a very peaceful neighbor, that doesn't make any sound. But for Taiwanese, living next to a graveyard is a very, very big taboo, and I heard that this is because they think we shouldn't mix dead people and living people in the same area, and I think this is very, very true also for Charlie. Like when we check a new house and everything looks nice, and then she will check in Google Maps like, oh no, there's a graveyard somewhere in that area, then this becomes a house where she doesn't want to live in. And actually, to be honest, I heard that this park right here next to where I'm sitting now, it used to be a graveyard, but then they turned this into a very nice living area, and then they moved that graveyard somewhere else. This is just what my neighbor told me. I don't know if this is the truth. The one area where the Taiwanese apartments are a lot more advanced than Swedish apartments is the bathroom. For example, the toilet here, will automatically rise up when you enter the room, and it also has a lot of functions, of course, like you can decide if you should flush strong or weak, and it can even play a song for you, and it can shoot a little stream up in your behind so that you don't have to waste so much toilet paper. This is an area where Sweden have a lot to learn, but I want to point out that we have some very, very cozy outdoor toilets called utedass. As a foreigner looking for a new house in Taiwan, the first thing you will notice is that the way that they measure area of housing is something called ping, and it's quite different than the square meter. If I have understood it correctly, this is based on the tatami, the Japanese mat that they have on the floor. So I think 2 tatami equals 1 ping. You go to the apartment and you notice that the apartment is still quite much smaller than you expected based on the ping. Sometimes when there is like a community, only 70% of the ping will actually be the apartment itself, and 30% of the ping will be other parts of the community, for example the gym or the entrance. So I think for me, of course, this is just a way to blow up the size of the apartment. We say oh, this is 20 ping, when in real life it's only 15 ping. Something that I think is very, very nice in Taipei that I haven't really seen in Sweden anywhere is that a lot of the houses are arranged in kind of a community, and sometimes that community will have really, really nice services. Like for example, there will be a gym that is only accessible for people living in that community, or there will be a swimming pool or a pool room. I even saw some places have a karaoke room or a small cinema or a badminton room. Seems like all of these things are very, very nice. I haven't really seen this in Sweden. Only if you live in the countryside and you have a big house, then of course maybe you can have your own pool, this kind of thing. So I think it's very nice. Something that seems to be very important in Taiwan also that I have never seen in Sweden is that things should be new. Of course, if you check a new house or a refurbished house, it should look very, very new. And the way in Taiwan to make things look new is to cover them in plastic. All of the electric outlets, they will always be covered in plastic. And I also think when I visit my Taiwanese friends that sometimes their furniture, like a new sofa, will be covered in plastic. Also this chair, for some reason Charlie for a very long time kept it covered in plastic. It just makes it seem new. Some places when I check, the toilet is not covered in plastic, but it's wrapped like a gift. It looks like, oh, when you buy this house, the toilet is a little gift that's included in this house. When I first moved to Taiwan, I thought it was a little bit strange that our parking lot had number 1, 2 and 3, but no number 4. I quickly learned that this is because the Chinese character for number 4, which is si, sounds very similar to the Chinese character for death, which is si. For example, a lot of the houses here don't have a 4th floor. People, of course, still live on the 4th floor. It's not like there's a floor that is totally closed that you cannot go to. No, they just call it, the 5th floor. They skip the 4th floor. So if you live on the 5th floor, a lot of times you actually live on the 4th floor. Okay, so today we talked about some of the differences some of the culture differences when looking for a new house in Taiwan. And if you have noticed some culture difference when you check for a house abroad, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching today. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel. See you all next time. Bye bye.